Food for a natural disaster. When storing food for natural disasters and catastrophes, consider that there is a pretty good chance you won't have electricity or running water. Canned foods have a good shelf life of 1 to 5 years, are ready to eat, and don't require refrigeration before opening. On top of that, you don't need water for preparation. Many dry foods require a substantial amount of water to prepare them ready to eat. Food for a natural disaster should be composed primarily of canned foods, canned fruit, vegetables, and meat. They're ready to eat without additional resources like electricity, water, or special preparation, critical during a natural disaster. When storing food for a natural disaster, try to focus on high-calorie foods. There won't be a lot of sitting around, so you will expend more calories than usual. 2 things that you try to avoid in normal life, well, some of us do anyway, calories and fat are really important in a survival scenario. For example, in the case of a hurricane, you might be running a chainsaw and generally spending more time prepping food, staying cool, and fixing property damage. Here is a list of foods good to store for a natural disaster. 28 foods. You want to buy the bulk of your emergency foods to be canned, but you can also use dried foods, powders, and non-perishables like peanut butter if you plan ahead. In case of groundwater or flooding, you'll want to have your food supply stored up off the floor and if possible stored in watertight bins or containers. So here's the food: canned fruit, canned vegetables, canned meat including tuna, salmon, chicken, and beef. Retort pouches, that's the tuna in the can. Canned fruit juices, canned soup and stews, canned meals like Chef Boyardee, beefaroni, spaghetti, and meatballs, Annie's organic canned pasta, canned broth, sugar, salt, and pepper, food for infants and special need diets, bottled water, commercially bottled 5-gallon jugs with a hand pump, water for purification method, large backpackers, water filter, boiling, bleaching, powdered drink mixes, snack foods like potato chips, high energy foods like peanut butter, honey, and other nut butters, jams, jellies, and honey, crackers to take the place of bread, dried granola bars and survival bars, nuts and seeds such as peanuts, almonds, cashews, and sunflower seeds, trail mixes. Wow, there's a lot of typos in this. Trail mixes, morale boosters like hard candy, cookies, sweet cereals, instant coffee, tea, dehydrated fruit, banana chips, cranberries, mangoes, multivitamins. That kind of rounds everything out. If you got some water, take a multivitamin every day plus whatever you're eating to get your calories. Mineral supplement, protein powders. Dried fruits require extra water. Consider this when storing emergency. Did I say fruits? Dried foods require extra water, so consider this when storing water for emergencies. Ramen noodles, cup of noodles, Knorr noodle and rice side dishes. You can get those for like 99 cents a pack. I like the Knorr noodles and the rice dishes. Minute rice, beef jerky, dried bouillon powder and cubes, meat and vegetable. Emergency food storage tips: store canned foods you eat in your normal diet and rotate through them with first in, first out, or FIFO. That just means you're eating the oldest food first. That way you will always have a fresh supply of canned or dry packaged goods for natural disasters. Food groups for natural disasters: shelf stable fruit, canned peaches, pineapple, fruit medley, mandarin oranges, dried apricots, apple and fruit slices, canned or powdered fruit juices. Shelf-stable vegetables: canned green beans, la choy stir-fry vegetables, canned turnip greens, canned beets, canned pickles, canned olives, canned okra, canned spinach, canned peas, and canned artichoke hearts. Shelf-stable dairy, low-fat powdered milk has the longest shelf life, 15 years if stored properly. Canned condensed milk, evaporated milk, canned cheese, cheese spreads and sauces, butter powder. For the low-fat milk, I haven't actually tried it, but a lot of preppers out there are liking the Nido, the Nestle Nido, which is a whole milk powder that's been fortified. So you might want to check that out if you don't like low-fat milk, powdered low-fat milk. Shelf-stable grain, popcorn, instant rice, rolled oats, granola bars, trail mix, crackers. Shelf-stable protein: canned beans, canned meat, mixed soups and stews with beans and meat, nuts and seeds, trail mix, peanut butter. Water for natural disasters: can't have enough water. According to FEMA, you should store at least 1 gallon of water per day per person, but they suggest 2 weeks or more if you can. 1 gallon a day per person for a short-term emergency is okay, but for long-term, that's nowhere near enough. FEMA minimum water storage, 1 gallon per person per day for 3-day supply. FEMA suggested water storage, 1 gallon per person per day for 2 weeks. Water may be scarce or dirty during a disaster. Flooding and groundwater surges can bring in chemicals that contaminate groundwater and treatment plants. Many chemicals can't be filtered, boiled away, or treated with bleach. For this reason, it's a good idea to have a supply of commercially bottled water, 5-gallon jugs, or 55-gallon food-grade barrels filled with water before a disaster. So that water doesn't have to necessarily be super treated, but it just is being protected from hardcore chemicals that can become present in groundwater after, like, for instance, in a hurricane, you have tidal surges that, you know, can go throughout a city, and so all the chemicals and the heavy metals and everything that are in all the industrial areas can end up in the groundwater, and 99% of us can't get those out unless we have a quality reverse osmosis system that is not working on electricity, or the system or you have electricity to make the system work. So basically, fill your water containers, have your water containers before groundwater gets contaminated. Water storage tip: avoid using water containers made of glass. Instead, go for tough food grade bottles, jugs, and barrels. Chart 1, emergency water storage by gallons and weight. I'm not going to go through this. You can check the article out directly. I will post a link in the comments down below. But just to give you a quick idea, 14-day supply, you're looking at 28 gallons. That's 233.52 pounds of weight. That's a lot of weight. Interesting water fact: in addition to 5-gallon jugs and some small drinking bottles, I have a 55-gallon water drum that weighs a whopping 458.7 pounds when filled. If you go with water drums, carefully choose the space where you will put them. Once they're full, you're not moving them. Using your own emergency water containers, 2 easy steps. If you can't purchase commercially bottled water, you have the option of bottling your own. See how to do your water bottles down below. The Federal Emergency Management Agency provides the information. Step number 1, you got to clean your water containers, and then the steps to fill your water containers. Again, you can check the article out to read that. 10 cooking tools for natural disasters: can opener, matches, alternate cooking methods, like outdoor gas grill, charcoal grill, alcohol stove, butane stove, propane, camper's grill, Nesbitt stove, and tablets, canned heat, fireplace, campfire. To keep food hot, you can use candle warmers, chafing dishes, fondue pots. You want paper plates, cooking utensils, including a spatula and a large spoon, bleach for cleaning and disinfection, contractor-grade trash bags, large plastic buckets or wash basins, and, of course, a poo bucket. That's a quick down and dirty list of things you can use for a short-term catastrophe, for a short-term natural disaster. This is Scott with Ready Squirrel. Thanks for listening to me, and I'll have a link to the ReadySquirrel.com article in the link in comments. Have a great day.